welcome to Rusty's Sudoku stream. I am Rusty, and I've got the puzzle for the first one. So we're doing puzzle number 753 in the Easy collection for the Tuesday set. We'll also be doing, if we can, puzzle 753 from the medium difficulty set. Those medium Sudoku puzzles. And oddly enough, turns out to be just a little bit more than 1,000, but we won't do the end of that this year, so we'll see about doing something about that in the future. In any case, once I hit the checkbox, if it checks out, the puzzle will go into a solve mode where we get to try to solve it, and you get 20 seconds ahead of it for doing such things as grabbing a screenshot, things like that. All right, here we go. And yes, it's ready for you to try solving it. And for me to try solving it in another 10 seconds or so. All right. And there we go. It's my turn. Okay. Let's see. I've got a 1 I can put on the board right away. And one of these two will be a 1. One of these two will be a 1. That's going to be a 1. One of these two is going to be a 2. Here's going to be one of these two. And one of these two. Not that one. That one. Over here, we get one of these two as a result. Here, we get one of these two. Oh, nope. We've got all 4 of these are possible. And we've got 3 possible. All right, how about 3s? 3 there, 3 there. That means one of these two is going to be a 3. This one's going to be a 3, so that's not. That is. This becomes a 2. And we now know that this one is going to be a 2. That means one of these two will be 2. And part of that is that this 2 and this 2 block out everything in these 2 columns. This 2 blocked out this one. That's 3 sitting here. Block that out. So the 2 up here. All right. These, yep, and we've got a full set. Okay, 4. One of these 2 is a 4. I got 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities down here. Over here, I've got 3 possibilities. And 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. 4 there. And yep, 2 there. 3 over here. All right, 5s. Well, we got 2 possible places for a 5 there. Up here we end up with 2 possibilities. Here we've got 2 possibilities that precludes this one being a 5, so that's going to be a 5. Over here, or down here now, we've got these 2 possibilities. And let's see what else. 2 possibilities here. And 4 possibilities here. On to 6s. Got a 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here. That means this one's going to be a 6. This is going to be a 6. One of these two will be a 6. I've got 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. And we move on to 7s. Get a 7 here. 7 here. One of these two will be 7. Let's see. 3 possibilities for a 7 here. And here. Here we've got 5 possibilities for a 7. 4 here. And we've got the 3 there already. 4 possibilities here. And we said 3 there. Looks like all 4 of these are potentially a 7. On to 8. Got an 8 here. Blocks these 2. End up with 4 possibilities here. This blocks these 2. This one blocks this, so this is an 8. That makes this a 5, this a 2. Up here, one of these 2 is an 8. Over here, one of these 2 is an 8. One of these 2 is an 8. One of these 2 is an 8. So we end up with 3 possibilities here so far. 3 possibilities here. Okay, how about 9? So one of these 2 is a 9. One of these 2 is a 9. Got a 9 there. Means neither of these 2 can be a 9, but I've got 4 possibilities here. Oh, hey, this one gets to be a 9. Turns this into a 5, this into a 9. And one of these 2, this one becomes a 5. Turning this into a 1. And one of these 2 will be a 9. Not this one, so it's this one, and then this is a 7. All right. That makes 2 possibilities for a 9 here. Oh, nope, not this one. That can't be a 9 because that's a 9 down there. So this is a 9. And we end up with one of these 2 being a 9. Down here, I still have 4 possibilities. Over here, I've got 2 possibilities. All right, let's see what we can do now. So, numbers we're missing here are 4 and 7 with earmarks for 8 already here. But all 3 of these can be either a 4 or a 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So one of these 2 is a 4. 5, 6. One of these 2 is a 7. And that leaves an 8. And I don't have. Oh, this says this can't be an 8, so it's a 7. These 2 then becomes an 8, and that's not a 7. It's 8, 4 pair. An 8, 4 pair there as well. There's a 4 here, 8's here. This can't be a 5, so this is a 5, this is an 8. And then we've got the 1's here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one of these 2, not that one, is a 7. And that becomes a 1 here. Okay. One, 2. One of these 2 is a 3. I've got 2 possibilities for 4, 2 for 5, 2 for 6, and 2 for 7, 2 for an 8, and 2 possibilities for a 9. Well, this is standalone for 6. We'll drop a 6 here, remove that 6 there, and that's a 4, 7 possibilities. So over here we've got a singleton for 9. Let's do a quick check on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So yes, this is a 9. That's not. And let's see. 5, 3, 8, 3, 8, 5, 7, 4, 7, 4. And with this 7 here, we now have one of these two as a 7. All right, take a look here. Look at the 2's earmark. Do we have anything else we can put in? I've got 3 possibilities for 3. 3 possibilities for 4, 5. One of these two will be a 6. I've got one of these two as a 7, 8. And then one of these two is a 9. Given that, I don't have a lot of useful information. What up here? So we got 1s on the board, a 2. This one's going to be a 2 because this can't be a 2 because of this 2 here. That means this is a 2 and that's not a 2. All right, how about 3? Well, neither of these can be a 3, so it's going to be one of these 2 up here. Did you're marking that 2 help us down here? Well, not so much, but we do have 2 possibilities for 3. All right. Unfortunately, none of these are actually marked for being a 4, which tells me that even though neither of these can be a 4, I've still got 4 possibilities. All right, we got a 5, 6 is going to be one of these 2. 7 can't be that one, so none of these, none of these. That means one of these 2 is a 7. One of these 2 is an 8. And then one of these 2 is a 9. Let's take a look over here again. This can't be 7 or 8. 1, 2, 3. That tells me this is going to be a 4. Because this can't be a 4. This one could be a 4, but since this can't be 7 or 8, and that's the only other thing missing, it's a 4. All right, now we've got 2 possibilities for 4 there, and 2 possibilities for 4. And 1 possibility for 4 here. And then we've got a singleton 7 and 6 here, so not a 7 here, not a 6 here. 9, 3, 8. Well, this one can't be a 7. We've already got one in the square. So that's going to be an 8, and this one's going to be our 7. That makes this a 4, this an 8, this a 4, and this an 8. And yes, that can't be an 8. We got a 9, 3 pair now. All right. And since we've got a 4 here and an 8 here, this becomes a 4 and this becomes an 8. Down here, this can't be a 7 anymore, so it's 4. This is a 7. This can't be a 5, so this is a 5. This can't be a 3, so it's an 8, and that's a 3. We got a 7 and a 9 here. Well, this one can't be a 7, so 9 and 7 here. This one becomes a 3, this one a 6. That means this is a 3 and this is a 9. Okay, 14 minutes and 20 seconds for the first puzzle. All right, and get playing the second puzzle. Pull it up so I can see it. We'll do custom, is under the menu here, and let me load that up. 1, 9, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 5 here, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 1, 5, 8, 4, 9, 6, 3, 2, 2 here, 6, 7, 4, 8, 1 there, and we're blank in the middle square. All right, we'll do this again. I hit the checkbox at the top of the page. That will start a timer if I've got it all entered right, or warn me that I need to make changes. And I have to go hunting for those. It doesn't tell me what's wrong. It just says that, yeah, it can't be solved that way. All right, here we go. You get 20 seconds. I want to watch a hand-tied fly being dragged across the screen for attracting a cat's attention. All right. There we go. So we get a 1 here. All right. I get to start over. This is the same puzzle we just did. All right. Create custom game. Don't want to keep that. What I need is the medium difficulty puzzle. I thought that one looked a little too familiar. Not sure if you were staring at the screen looking and going, wait a minute, you just did that puzzle. Or not. And again, the middle square is left empty. All right, again, you get 20 seconds. So I recognize what they're dragging around on the screen as being a hand-tied fly fishing lure, sans hook or weight. Oh well. So one of these two is a 1. Obviously, we're past 30 seconds. And this is a 2. I've got 3 possibilities for a 1 there, 3 possibilities here, and 3 possibilities here. All 5 of these being open and eligible for 1s. And we get a 2 here. One of these two is a 2. And one of these two is a 2. 3 here, 3 here. So one of these 3 is a 3. Nope, one of these 2 is a 3, so that means this one can't be. So now we've got 2 possibilities for 3. Then here I've got 4 possibilities, though. And I've got 3 possibilities in this square. Oddly enough, 3 possibilities here as well. And 3 possibilities here. Okay, well, one of these two is a 4. Get 3 possibilities for 4 here. One of these 3 is a 4. Here we've got 4 possibilities and 6 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here and 6 here. So moving on to 5. We've got a 5 here, 4 possibilities here, 3 possibilities here. 5 here, 4, 5 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here for 5. Here we've got 4 possibilities, 3 here. And all 7 of these could potentially be a 5. But 6s, 6 there and there. And down here means one of these 2 is a 6. Down here, one of these 2 is a 6. And one of these 2, this one's a 6, whereas this one becomes a 4. All right. That's 6 and that's 6. These 3 is going to be 6. And I've got these 2 earmarked already. And I've got 3 possibilities here and 2 possibilities here. 7. One of these 2 is going to be a 7. One of these 2 is a 7. Up here, one of these 2 will be a 7. We've got a 7 here. I got 3 possibilities here. Here, we've got 5 possibilities. Except that here, we get those 2, which says that none of these can be a 7, so one of these 3 is going to be 7. And one of these 4 is going to be a 7. One of these 3 is going to be a 7. On to 8s. An 8 here. One of these 3 will be an 8. Here we've got 3 possibilities. This one gets to be an 8. And so does this one. One of this one is going to be an 8. Means this is an 8. And this becomes an 8. Which leaves this is an 8. Turns this into a 6. Anything else like that? Nothing right now. Okay, 9. Got a 9 here and here. So one of these 2 is a 9. 9s in the bottom row are all filled. I've got 2 possibilities for a 9 here. Not fill in a possible 8 where there is none. 2 possibilities for a 9 here. And I am seeing 5 possibilities here. One of these 2 is a 1, and that means one of these 2 is a 1. One of these 2 is a 1, which means this one becomes a 1. 2 there, 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 leaving these two. These two are left. All right, so that gets 2s, 3s. Well, we get a 3 here. That means one of these two is a 3. Let's see. One of these two is a 3, which means I've got 3 possibilities here. Okay, that's about all I could do with this. One of these 3 is a 4. I've got 3 possibilities for 4 here. 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities for 4 here. And way too many possibilities here. Oh. All right, how about 5s? That shows 3 possible 5s here. One of these two is a 5. This one can't be a 5, so we've got these 3. This one, or one of these two for 3 possibilities for 5. 3 possibilities for 5 here. And 4 possibilities here. One 6 is there. One of these two is a 6. That means one of these two is a 4, which helps in that that's the 4, so one of these two becomes a 4. These two is a 4. One of these 3 is a 4. Up here I've got 4 possibilities. One of these two is a 4. And 3 possibilities. All right, 5. 5 here. 3 possibilities for 5 here. 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. None of these 3 can be a 5. That means one of these 3 is going to be a 5. Here I've got 3 possibilities. Well, down here I've got 4 possibilities. How about 6? One of these two is a 6. That's a 6. That's a 6. That's a 6. One of these two is a 6. Here we've got 3 possibilities for 6. All right. One of these two is a 7. Nope, nope. I've got 3 possibilities here. It's just this one can't be a 7. Neither can this. So we've got 4 possibilities for a 7 over here. Here we've got 5 possibilities. Or no, 3 possibilities. Because these two can't be a 7 because these two are the possible 7s there. All right, on to 8 we can. Looks like all of the 8s are populated. But 9s. Well, it looks like what I've got left is 3 possible 9s here, 2 here, 5 here, these 2 that are marked, and these 2 that are marked. All right. Let's flood everything else in. Start up here. I've got 1, 2, 3. So where can we put 4s? Here, here, and here. 5. Same 3 places. 6s are here, 7s are here, 8, and one of these 2 is a 9. Okay, here we've got 1s, 2s, 3, 4s. Everything's open to be a 5. We've got a 6 here. So all of these are open to becoming 7s. 8 here, and a 9 down here says that can't be a 9. So one of these 5 is going to be a 9. Right over here, we got 1s and 2s, 2 possible 3s. All 4 of these could potentially be a 4. 2 possible 5s, 6, a 7, and 8, and 2 possible 9. And this square is fully populated. So we got 1s here, 2. This one's going to be a 3. That makes this a 4. That makes this a 6, and this a 3. Let's see if that gets me anything useful as well. One of these 2 becomes a 6. However, we're still at 5s here. One of these 2 is a 5. This can't be a 5 because of that. Neither can this. This can't be a 5 because of this. So, 5s, how about 6s? One of these 2 is a 6. 7s. One of these 4 is a 7. Nope, one of these 2 is a 7. Mistake. This one can't be a 7. One of these 2 is a 7. Since one of these 2 is a 7, that can't be a 7. That makes that a 7. These 2 can't be 7s. This becomes a 9, so not a 9 here, here, or here. That becomes a 4, so these don't get to be 4s anymore. Neither does this. This one is going to be a 4. Over here, we knock things down to that being a 5, that being a 9, and this becomes a 3. And since we got 5 set up over there, and 9s, that means a 7 and a 2 here. I got a 1, 5, 1, 5 pair, so this becomes a 9, not a 9 here, 4, 5 pair. But that 4 there says this can't be a 4. So 5 and 4 here. And this can't be a 5, so that's a 5. How about one of these 2 is a 9? So look at that. And this is a 9. This can't be a 9 anymore, so we get this as a 9. This becomes a 6. Let's work out 1s and 7s over here. 1's there. 7's here. That means this can't be a 7. That's a 2. That's a 7. If that's a 2, oh, we got that all set up there. 7 means one of these 2 is a 7. But it also looks like this one gets to be a 9. There are possibilities for 1. What's its math? 2, 3, 4. One of these 2 is a 5. It's not this one, So this is a 5, this is a 1. That makes this a 7, this a 1. And this becomes a 7. And here we got a 6. Yep. 7, 4 pair here. Right down here, these two is going to be a 3. I've got a 6 here, so that can't be a 6. That will be a 6. One of these two is going to be a 1, 5. I've got 3 possible places for a 5 here. All right. Over here, we can fill this one in. We've got 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be a 4. One of these two will be a 5. 6, a 7. Or no, 6, 8, and 9. Meaning one of these two is a 7. 1, 2, 3. This one gets to be a 3. Not a 6, 3. Means this is a 5. This is a 7. This is a 5. This is a 3. This is a 1. This is a 5. This is a 1. Over here, we've got a 4 and a 7. Hey, 17 minutes and 33 seconds. All right. I want to say thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had a better time than I did with this. In any case, all seems to have gone well. We will look forward to trying to get this set up for tomorrow as well. 2 puzzles. I've got both Wednesday and Thursday puzzles that I'm expecting to kick off. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.